Ta-da! Right, morning. Is it morning? Afternoon. Lovely people. Going to show you how to make a quick, easy, sustainable, environmentally friendly table decoration for your Christmas table. So hopefully some of you would have seen this before when we talked about what you'd need. So I've used an old plant saucer. And the point of this being that I haven't bought anything new, so this is just an old one that I had lying around, and a bit of chicken wire sort of scrunched up in the middle with this is pop tape that I've used to secure it, but you could use insulating tape, even duct tape, not sellotape. That wouldn't, when it gets wet, that wouldn't stick, but to just secure it. And I've cut a sort of a hole out in the middle so that I can place my candle in just so. So hopefully you would have seen that and done that already. Now you also will need some greenery. Now ever since I started working from home, which I think is about 7 years ago now, I planted lots of shrubs and things with my floristry in mind. So I have plenty, but there's masses in the hedgerows you can use as well. So I've got this Lolandi, which is everywhere. I love using herbs, so I've got some bay, which is really pretty, rosemary and some bay, some eucalyptus, which is from our own tree. But tree ivy is really good if you can find some with some berries on. I have also found some really nice, I love all this stuff that's in the hedgerows at the moment. So these are dried, they just dry in the hedgerows like this. Dried oak and some dried beech, and also the ferns look gorgeous. So really, and the clematis, hang on one sec, clematis vital, this old man's beard. Fabulous. See, so there's masses. So if you don't have access to anything that's in a garden, you can still go out and do a little forage and find some things. So what you need to do is you need to cut your greenery. Now obviously it depends on how big your table is. I'd say for one this size, which is about 8, I'd say probably, I don't know, about 8 inches. So that's probably a bit longer than hand length, I guess. Yeah. So cut some and all you do, literally all you do, is you would keep this dry for now, put the water in later when you've finished, otherwise you'll find that you tip it all down your arm. But you just literally place it in. If I take the candle out, so you can see, just poked it in so that the stem, when you've done it, it'll be in water. The stem will, because you'll fill this, and the stems will all be in water. And it's nice, it's got a nice little sort of droop over the sides. Yeah? So you just go around the whole thing, filling in with your greenery. So I'll do that and we'll get back to it in a sec. Right, so hopefully you've managed to do that. So it's a bit tricky to show you this without tipping it over. So there is how. Now obviously my candle is a bit short. It's one that's already been used. So, but it would be quite nice to have one that's up here. In this sort of arrangement, you do need quite a chunky candle because you need one that'll sit by itself. The sort of tall dinner type candles obviously are not going to sit down in a saucer very well. I don't know if you can see that tickler. I don't want to let go of the candle because it'll fall out. But I think if you can get anything with berries on, obviously that's going to be really nice. I happen to have some of these fabulous teasels here. So I've just been cutting them down to sort of that sort of size and sticking them in. And of course you can spray them if you have some spray, or dip them in glitter. I know glitter's not stuff that we want to be using or buying anymore, but I think that if you already have some, I know I do from primary school days, I think it's okay to use it rather than just throw it. So that's my sort of philosophy on that. Or some, you know, a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of paint or something just to give them, but they, I mean, mind the stems are super prickly, if you can see. So they're quite nice. I am also lucky enough to have in my garden a twisted willow tree. So I've cut some of this. This makes obviously lovely spiky effect. But I've noticed in the hedge when I was walking around just now, there's all sorts of dried seed heady things, bits that anything like that would look really nice. Obviously, if you had a smaller saucer to suit a small table, it's going to come out smaller. And if you can find things with berries, that adds to it, obviously. So, don't know if you can see these spiky. So I ran my own, I've been in the floristry industry most of my working life. I had my own shop for 9 years or so. And we used to import flowers from all over the world, but that's sort of what we did back then. But even back then, I was very interested in environmental side of floristry and seasonal. And then when I started working from home, I thought that was something that I could really grow, literally grow, excuse the pun. So I started growing everything that I use. I do still buy some flowers and things in there, but I make sure they're from really local growers, support the local growers as much as possible. There is a certain supermarket, there's one in Totnes and Kingsbridge, where they're really good at promoting British flowers, and you can find British flowers on their stands, and they will have a little British Union Jack on there, so that then you know you're supporting British growers. And pretty much these days we have a huge variety of flowers that are grown in this country, and of course you can grow your own. And next year, 2021, I will be hopefully running some courses on how to grow your own cut flower patch. So look out for details of that. Right, now back to, so here's this lovely dried oak that was just in the hedges like that. It's really lovely, and I think that adds a really nice bit of colour this time, along with the seasonal sort of reds and greens. Of course, if you're using things like I've got in here, like rosemary, eucalyptus, bay, thyme is great. Anything like that, it's just going to smell fabulous. Christmas tree, a few years ago we bought a Christmas tree in a pot. I planted it in the garden, that's grown up, so now I can cut around the bottom, and the Christmas tree obviously get that nice smell. Now there's other things you can add. Pine cones you could just tuck in. Walnuts are great. You can skewer a little bit of a cocktail stick or something like that into the end of a walnut, and that will stick in. See how this is looking now. So I think that's going to look really nice on a Christmas table. So see what you can find. Dried hydrangeas are quite good. You could add some little bits of ribbon if you wanted to just, you know, make it look festive. Anything goes. So yeah, there you go. Really quick, really simple. Anything goes, really. Try and develop your own style, make it reflect you. And there you have it, a Christmas table decoration. Done. Thanks very much, everyone.